If possible, tailor your CV according to the specific job for which you're applying. A carefully targeted CV can easily make the difference between success and failure. It's astonishing how many people use exactly the same CV for every single application they make. Now, every job and every organisation is different, and therefore every CV should also be subtly different.
So there's something important there about matching the language of your CV to the language which the organisation chooses to adopt for itself.
There's one thing worth bearing in mind, and that is that the majority of people don't bother. So if you do bother, you're first of all putting yourself further up the pecking order.
Have a dig around, look at the website, look at documents produced by the organisation, particularly documents relating to the future, and you will pick up a flavour of the language. So if the organisation is very strongly focused on systems and procedures, you'll pick up language around compliance and doing things carefully, monitoring and so on. If the organisation is concerned about growth, you'll see much more dynamic language. If the organisation is people-centred, you might be using terms like empowerment or getting the best out of people. And that's what you're doing. You're translating your experience using language that the employer will buy into.
The best way to establish exactly what the company requires is to review the job specification. If you haven't been provided one, if you just have the job advert, phone up the company. They usually will be very happy to provide you with the job specification, and there it will detail exactly what they're looking for.
And match your skills and your achievements to that as much as you can. Not only pulling it out in the covering letter, but also tailoring your CV in such a way.
Provide examples, as many examples as you can of what they are looking for.
If your CV is going in on a speculative basis, then two rules here. First of all, don't send it to human resources. It'll just end up in a very large pile. And secondly, never begin a letter that says "Dear Sir" or "Madam," which really means I haven't a clue who I should be writing to.
When I have a CV saying "Dear Miss Lacey" or "Dear Helen," it means that they've actually taken the time to research Redberry Recruitment, rather than "Dear Sir," which I get. They obviously haven't taken the time to actually realise I am a woman.
Now, getting through to the decision maker is obviously going to require some research on your part. So you might want to look on their website, or failing that, simply phone up the organisation, speak to the receptionist and get a name.
Unfortunately, we don't have that many tailored CVs that come in through the door. And this is where we as an agency would actually give advice, because it's very important that a CV for the jobs we are sending candidates to are tailored.
One of the very good ways of doing that is to draw up a very simple checklist on one piece of A4. Draw a line down the middle of the page. On the left-hand side, write down what you believe to be the employer's requirements. There'll probably be about 15 or 20 of them. On the right-hand side of the page, write down your matching experience and achievements.